Hi there. In this video we are going to walk you through the steps to create a presentation in encaptiv. As you'll see, we're logged into our encaptiv account here. We're at our home dashboard, and so we're going to navigate over here to the left hand panel and click this create presentation button, and here we're going to start putting in our presentation information, starting with a title and a description that our audience members will see. We're going to be talking about a killer elevator pitch today, so we are going to 6 steps to give a killer elevator pitch. We're going to give it a title and description there, and then we can do some communication preferences. When you end your presentation, encaptiv automatically sends an email to your audience members thanking them for attending and providing them with a link so that they can log in and see your slides, as well as continue to communicate with you through the online portal through email. You can turn those off by simply clicking this box. You will get a notification that your attendees won't receive an email, so I'm going to leave these on for now. Then you have your presentation timer. What this is it tells you how much time has gone by during your presentation, so you can keep track of your time. You can either have it count up or count down. I like it to count down so I know if I'm running out of time. And let's say this presentation is going to be 20 minutes in length. So I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to give myself an initial warning of 5 minutes. And now what this means is our timer clock starts at being a green clock, and then when you get your initial warning, that clock turns to yellow, and then for a final warning it turns to red. So I'm going to have it turn red with about 2 minutes left, or with 2 minutes left. Next thing you want to do is upload your slides. Encaptiv currently accepts PNG and JPEG files. We are working on accepting PowerPoints, but for now what you would do is, if you're using PowerPoint, you do File, Export as Images, and in PowerPoint will actually save each and every slide in your presentation as an image and number it in order, so all you have to do is drag it and drop it in here. I'm going to go ahead and choose some slides from a presentation that obviously I've already converted to images here. You can see I'm just going to select the first 10 slides here, and you can see it will keep you updated on your progress as those slides are uploading. And once they've uploaded, you'll see they're all there in order, and you can add your notes and everything that goes along with it. So I can add a note here that I want to do a poll on elevator pitches, and I'm going to put this in all caps for myself. Then I can talk about most important thing is to know your audience. And these are your presenter notes. These are private to you. Nobody else can see them. You can also reorganize slides. So if I wanted to move this slide up, for example, I can switch order and you can see that the notes stay with the slide. Or if I wanted to delete slides, I can. I can also add additional slides to my presentation. So let's say I wanted to go in here and add another slide. I can choose that slide. It will upload and be added to the bottom here, and I can reorganize it as well. So I'm going to move this down to the very bottom, and then I'm going to continue. Then the next step in the process here is, if you have a pro account, you'll be able to add polls to your pro account, and every time you create a poll, it saves it for you so that you can access it in the future. You can see all these polls that I've created, and let's say I want to do the elevator pitch poll. I can take a look at what it is before I choose to add it. Any polls that I want to add, I just select what they are, and I can then update the poll links, and you'll see that these are linked. Now if I want to add a new poll, it's pretty simple. I give my poll a title. This needs to be a short title because it makes it easy for you as well as your audience members to identify quickly when it comes time to answering polls during a presentation. So I'm going to ask, are you a nervous speaker? So I'll ask about nerves, and then my actual question is the question they'll answer. Are you a nervous speaker? And I'll ask a question, and I'll give some very short answer choices, because again, the shorter these are, the better, because audience members can see them and click them and answer them pretty quickly, and everyone will be able to digest the information easier. I'll give a couple of answers, and you can add several answers here. Terrified, kinda, not really, or let's say not at all. And we're going to add that poll, and you'll see it's now a linked poll. And I'm going to unlink this feedback poll because I just want to use the nerves in the elevator pitch, and I'm going to update that, and you'll see that that link disappears. Now I'm going to continue, and this is where I can add calls to action to my presentation. So to add calls to action, I'm going to click this button, and there are 4 different types of calls to action I can add. I can have them visit a website, which can be to have them buy a product or service that I'm selling, to sign up for something, to schedule an appointment with me if you're using an online appointment scheduler, anything you want, any link on the web, you can put that in. Encaptiv pulls the metadata as long as it's not blocked from the site and displays that to your audience. You can have them follow you on social media. You can have them subscribe to your email list. There's a separate video that walks through how to do that. We do have an API to MailChimp, so if you link your MailChimp account, it's just as simple as copying and pasting a link into Encaptiv. Those names will automatically be added to your MailChimp mailing list, no extra steps. Or you can have them complete a feedback survey. So I'm going to have them follow me on social media. You can see I've used this before, so it keeps all of my previous data. If I wanted to change this, I could just type in the new URL, but I want to leave this as is, so I'm going to save my call to action. And as you'll see, there's an engagement score here associated with this. So all attendees, as they're participating in your presentation, will have an engagement score assigned to them based on their interaction with your presentation, ranging from 0 to 10. And if I'm using one call to action, then it sends that engagement score, that call to action to everybody. But if let's say I add a second call to action, maybe I want them to subscribe to my email list already. You can see I've already copied and pasted the URLs from MailChimp into here. I'm going to click Save Call to Action, and you'll now see that anyone with an engagement score between 0 and 5 will get a link to follow me on social, whereas anyone with a 5.1 to 10 will get a call to action to subscribe to my email list. I can change this if I want. I can make this 0 to 3, and anyone with higher than a 3 gets an email subscription. It updates, and you're good to go. Then you hit continue, and it takes you to your presentation. And from here, you can make your presentation live and have your audience members follow along.